Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Rabia. Today I created a summertime effortless glam look using the Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe palette. I'm going to be butchering a lot of Cuban words in this video, so please forgive me. I did use the Reina del Caribe palette in this video. I really love this eyeshadow palette. I think that it's so beautiful. Like the mattes are creamy and pigmented. So I'm going to be using this palette in the tutorial. And just a few of my favorite go-to summer longevity products. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy this video. If you do stick around till the end, please consider liking and subscribing. And without further ado, let's just get into the video. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is a Coverfx blurring primer. And I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of this out and put it on my skin. I like to focus this primarily on my T-zone. That's where I usually get like the most oily, so like my chin gets really oily, and then right here on my nose. Okay, so for foundation today, I'm going to be using the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in the shade Barcelona, and I'm going to be using the Morphe blending sponge to apply that. And for this, I just like to stipple it onto my skin. And I find that this wears long enough in the heat. I can't say that it stays on all day or anything, and I'm really bad at being a judge for that because I have a problem of touching my skin, so my face, so foundation tends to rub off. But this one just lasts the longest on me, and I find that it really does just like make me look like I'm a healthy glow. So to highlight and conceal, I'm going to be going in with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, and this is in the shade Sand. And I'm just going to use this to conceal under my eyes and down the center of my face. I've said this before, but this concealer is really good, but you just need to wait like a minute or two before you blend it out because it helps retain the most amount of coverage from the concealer, and so it doesn't just blend away. So I'm going to wait a second and then blend it out with the same Morphe sponge. So once I'm done blending that out, I'm going to go back in with the foundation side of the sponge and just work around those edges because I don't want it to look like stark, like a lighter shade and then my foundation shade. So I'm just going to go around and blend those edges out. And then I'm going to take the Bellapierre banana powder just to set under my eyes. I'm just going to take it on that same sponge and press this into my skin. Okay, so while I let that sit for a while, I'm going to be priming the eyelids with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and this is in the shade Medium. Okay, and then I'm going to be using the Luxie 660 Precision Foundation Brush. It's just like a fluffy, smaller brush. And I'm going to take the same Bellapierre powder and then just like set that concealer that I placed on my eyelid. And then at the same time, I'm going to start wiping off that little mini bake that I did under my eyes. But so we're going to move on to the eyes, and I'm going to be using the Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe palette. This is actually a really fun palette. I think the color scheme's great. And so today I'm just going to do my everyday natural, like not natural, it's not natural, my everyday like summer look that I've been creating with this. And so first I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush. This is the Morphe M518. And I'm just going to dip into Cocoa Taxi, and then I'm going to start working that shade into my upper crease. And so I start off in the crease and kind of work my way up. Again, when you're creating eye looks, the biggest thing that you want to keep in mind is diffusion. Like even if you use one shade, it's all about diffusing it and blending it out. So I do start in the actual crease, but then I'm gonna start working my way up towards the brow bone with this. And yeah, so just windshield wiper motions across your eye. And I do take this all the way into my like the inner part of my crease too. So just gonna blend in. Next, I'm gonna go in with the shade Tropical on the same Morphe brush. So I'm doing the same thing. This windshield wiper motions, blending this color into my crease. This time though, it's like, again, like creating that gradient. I'm gonna work lower than the Cocoa Taxi shade. So it's just blending underneath it. And then I always like to, like, when now that like it's actually a darker color, I like to keep a majority of the pigment on this outer corner and then work my way in, so it's gonna become lighter on like the inner corner. Like there's still gonna be color there, it's just not gonna be as pigmented as the outer corner. Okay, so next I'm gonna go into the shade Guantanamera. I really don't want to be butchering names, but I really like that this palette is very like, I think the creator is Cuban, and so I like that it has that vibe to it. I hate like messing up names that people put work into like creating, so sorry. But I'm gonna just take a flat shader brush and that color, and just make sure you're tapping off the excess with this, and then I'm just pushing that onto my lid space. And then I'm gonna go back in with that Morphe brush. I'm not picking up any excess color, like any more color. I'm just using whatever's on the brush to help blend these two shades together. And then using that same flat brush, I'm just going to take the same Guantanamera color, and I'm going to just switch this onto my lower lash line, getting most of that color on the outer corner and then dragging the rest of it in. Okay, and this time I'm going to go back into the palette and grab Tropical again on the same Morphe brush, and this time, like, now I'm gonna just to help blend out that lower lash line and also kind of bring that orange shade on the outskirts of my eyes. So because I've really been liking the look of like your transition shade, like kind of encircling the entire eye. So what I'm gonna do is primarily work this on like, and this is like done with the lightest touch and just like pointing the brush upwards. You don't want to go in this way because the color is going to get brought lower than you want, unless you like that look of like a super blown out lower lash line. I just have a really dark circle, so I don't like that look a lot on me, but if you like it, then you can, if you do it this way, this is just going to bring the color lower. I like to work this way. I feel like I have a little bit more control, and also the color just stays pushed up. So I'm going to work that first right on that outer edge. And then bring it inward. And then for the other part, I'm just gonna go around the whole eye look to get that orange all around. I'm gonna go in with the shade El Malecon on a Vintage Cosmetics Step 3 brush, and I'm just going to focus this color right on in the inner corner. You could also use your highlight to do this, but this color, this shimmer is just so gorgeous. Like, I don't know if you can see. It's so pretty, and it's like such a different color because it's like gold, but it has a little bit of silver, and I don't know, it's like, it's a fun, like, it's a different gold. I like it a lot. So I'm taking the Dose of Colors Mirame highlight, and I'm just gonna run that along my brow bone. When you're doing your brow bone highlight, you want to accentuate that arch, and so you always want to put like the majority of the color down there. I never bring the color inwards from here. Like I always put it on my arch and then I blend it outwards. But again, you want the most pigment right at the arch. I'm gonna be using the Butter London Decker Lashes Mascara to coat my upper and lower lashes. I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Perfecting Powder in the shade 5 and an e.l.f. Kabuki brush. And I'm just going to push this into my skin. This sets my foundation, but it doesn't like make me look really matte. Again, I've really been enjoying like looking, you know, just healthy and radiant. And then I'm going to bronze up my skin, and for that I'm going to be using the Sephora Micro Smooth Compact Powder in the shade Deep. And I'm going to be going in with a Morphe Y11 brush. And for bronzing, I just like to put the product down and start working it. Bronzing's a little bit, to me, a little bit more carefree than contouring. With contouring, you want to create sharp lines and define your face. Bronzing, like, to me is just like, I can apply this a little bit more carefree, because the point of bronzing is to look like you got color to your skin. Okay, and then I'm going to take a Morphe, like the same Morphe 518 brush, not the same one, it's a cleaner one, and just take the same bronzer down the sides of my nose. I've noticed that if I don't do this, my face looks really off. Like if I bronze the rest of my face and just not my nose, it looks like weird. And then for blush, I'm going to be going in with a Tarte blush. This is in the shade Feisty. And this is pretty neutral. When I feel like for summer, either I go really heavy with blush, but my eyes are neutral at that point, or I go very neutral with blush. I just feel like, I don't know, for summer I don't like looking like I have a lot of makeup on. Even though I do, I just don't want it to look like I have a lot of makeup on. So I'm just going to push this into my skin. My final step is going in with highlighter, and I'm again using the Morphe DesixKaty Mirame highlight. This highlight is just so good. I can't get enough of it. It just looks like your skin is naturally glistening. So I'm gonna hit the tops of my cheekbones with this, and then kind of bring it down also to the apples of my cheeks, just because I feel like when your skin's glistening, it glistens all the way down here in the summer because your entire face is sweating. And then I do like to just lightly hit the tops of my eyebrows with it. And then I'm gonna take my finger and put it on the tip of my nose, down the center, and on the tip as well. Okay, once the highlight's on and everything, I do like to just go back in with my sponge and use like the cleaner side, like where there's no product, and just push everything into my skin. So for lips, I've been really loving this Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick in Dead Roses. So I'm going to start off by lining my lips with MAC's Beverage Lip Liner. Okay, and then right over top of that, I'm going to go in with that Anastasia lipstick. So guys, this is the completed look. Thank you so much for staying until the end of this video. This is my take on an effortless glam summer look, you know, because usually with the hotter weather, you don't really want to be bothered with makeup, but you know, still want to look a bit like glam. So this is just my take on hot weather glam makeup, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial, found it really helpful. I hope that you guys subscribe, and if you did like the video, please consider liking, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!